Given that semiconductors has become such a strategically important sector, do you think the Indian government should take equity positions in Indian semiconductor companies?
Well, like I said, there are pros and cons. I think my personal opinion is no. They should ensure that there are enough guardrails so that that
Hmm.
technology doesn't end up in in foreign hands. It is used for sovereign purposes, and it stays in India, and the benefits are to an Indian customer and Indian ecosystem. If those guardrails are fairly well defined and well articulated and objective, not discrete, not left to discretion, I think the government shouldn't take in. Otherwise, getting in, I I personally feel that getting in investments from private parties then becomes a bit difficult. And then if the government does take equity, I don't know for our the company that actually gets is in which the government is an investor, does it have to follow GFR for its procurement? Because most of the procurement that we do as startups is all discretionary, right?
Hmm.
Then you get into all those compliance issues and all of that. So that might slow down the companies, what I believe, right? Because the compliance becomes a bit more scrutinized. Well, it should be even otherwise. But what happens is most procurement that we do as startups or as private companies is to a large extent discretionary, right? That becomes a
Hmm.
challenge. I believe.
Right. So just going back to your founder days when you started Sankhya, would you have been open to the idea of, let's say, a customer of yours, which could have been the government, getting a board seat or being an equity investor in your company?
Well, at that time, I can sit back here and say whatever I want to say, theorize. But if you're desperate at that time, you take it, right? A lot of
Right.
times, yeah, and that particular situation, you don't know what you do. In fact, yeah, I think you will. If somebody is willing to give you money and you're not getting other people to invest in the company, you would.
Hmm. Hmm.
I would. Maybe I would.
My last question to you is, just looking forward to the next decade, what excites you about this industry, given that you spent almost most of your professional life in the field of semiconductors?
Oh, I think this the post AI boom, I would say, right after all the hype around AI goes off, I think the real innovation would start to begin in terms of low power semiconductors, especially in India, right? In India, because we've just started, recognizing this as a credible industry to invest in and to build on. I think semiconductor entrepreneurs are in for a great run in the next decade, and I believe the next, hopefully the next unicorn. Maybe I would like to. I mean, not just by valuations, but by revenues. I believe would come from the hardware industry and the allied industries, right? Either semiconductors or or a company that sells hardware would come from India. I think there's no better time to build hardware companies than now in India.